All right, looks like we are live, testing out multiple location streams here. I am joined by James Brown, investor, real estate agent from Colorado. Welcome, James.
Thanks. Good to
How's
see
it
you
going,
again.
buddy?
Yes, James. Hi. Nice to meet you finally.
Yeah.
Good to see you. And I am also joined by Giovanna Danino, my business partner and real estate agent here in the Valley of the Sun in Arizona.
Hi,
So we're
everyone.
just welcome. Thank you both for joining me. So we're up to 3 viewers. What's up, everybody?
Us?
Post a comment, say hello, where you're watching us from. How do you know us, right? Are you followers? Are you part of James's followers? Are you part of Giovanna's followers? Are you part of my followers? Just post a comment if you can. We're just testing out the system so that way in the future, our goal is to kind of do live streams to our platforms for our rent to own program. How we help real estate agents, lenders, aspiring homeowners, and investors through our method. James calls it a hybrid method. I call it the rent to own method. And basically, the goal is the same, right? Is to help people get into a home that can't qualify for traditional financing. That's really it, right?
Yep.
So I come from a lending background. These guys are agents, right? So we're all licensed. And James and I and Giovanna have worked on the creative side as investors too. So what we're doing is we're combining the traditional with the non-traditional to kind of provide additional solutions for people that can't get into a home, right? Everybody wants to get into a home, but as we know, 70 to 80% of people that want to get into a home don't qualify for traditional financing. So we have creative solutions, right? And the rent to own method is one of those solutions. So we're here to provide some of those, kind of teach people what it is, how it works. If you're an agent, how it works. If you're a lender, how it works. If you're a homeowner or a potential homeowner, how that works. And then the investor side is something else. So those are more conversations on a one-on-one basis and say, hey, how do I become an investor in this? We can have those conversations on the side. But generally, our focus here is to bring some knowledge. We're going to talk about different case studies, different scenarios of people that we've helped, not just the agents that ran into the problem or they were stuck through their transaction or they had a client that wanted to buy but couldn't qualify. They send them to their preferred lender and they didn't qualify, right? Or they were under contract, and you may know, if you're an agent or lenders, you know this, is well, while you're in escrow, you're under contract, there's pending reviews and documentation. Just because you got a pre-approval doesn't mean it's done. It's not done. You still have almost 30 days within that process where people still get declined because something funky comes up, right? So once documentation comes in, sometimes once it gets submitted to underwriters, the underwriters kind of have their own way of looking at stuff. They may not like something, or something came back on the appraisal. So there's still a process that needs to happen. Just because you're on the contract doesn't mean it's done. So we've seen it many a times where deals fall out, right? That's not uncommon. So deals fall out. So the reason is, well, why is the deal falling out? Is it because appraisal issue, value came in low, or the condition of the property? Well, that needs to be renegotiated, right? So that's kind of an agent world where value came in low. We need to renegotiate the price or the agreement, or if there are conditions to the property that need to be repaired. Then that's another aspect that needs to be negotiated between the seller and the buyer, right? Or is it a lender issue, right? Property conditions, and then there's lender issues. So somebody says, yeah, I'm self-employed and I'm going to get all my documentation. Well, by the time the CPA gets the documentation in to the lender or the underwriter, when they're reviewing those documents, something may not be what's expected. A lot of times it's not what is expected, right? Because most people that are business owners, self-employed, they're getting counsel from their CPAs to write off as much as possible, right? So they're basically broke on paper. So somebody may gross $1 million, but they write off $1 million and their net is zero, right? So banks qualify you based on your net, not on your gross. So if you net, even though you grossed $1 million, if you net zero, the bank is going to say, you're not getting this low. How are you going to make the payment, right? So those are issues that come up. It could be something else. Maybe sometimes people get overly excited during the transaction and say, "Hey, I'm going to buy a house," and what ends up happening is they go get furniture or something.
Yeah, or a car. They buy a car.
Right? And now their debt ratio is way out of whack. This
Yeah.
is one thing that most people don't even realize is that lenders, while you're in the process, not only they check your credit at the beginning, but they also check out if you took out any new debt, a day or two before you're going to sign, because they have to account for that debt. Most people don't even realize that that's where this happens, right? Now they got a new Tesla and there's $1,000 extra a month, and now you don't qualify anymore. The lender isn't obligated based on the original pre-approval. If you made a change to your situation, they're gonna, they're not afraid to say no, this isn't a go anymore because you did this, right? And even though agents may counsel their buyers, even loan officers tell their buyers or applicants, hey, don't go doing that, right? Until you close, don't buy anything. Don't get your credit check. Don't take out any new debt. But sometimes people still do what they do, right? And so now you got a deal in the works that's basically falling apart. If you're an agent and now you're trying to scramble, okay, how am I going to get this deal? Not only so that you can get paid, get the client in the house, but two, now you got an agent on the other end, the selling agent that's like, I got to tell this agent this deal ain't going to fly because they took out new debt. How do you think they're going to take it? How would you take it if you're the listing agent, right? It happens, right? So James, you want to talk about that?
Yeah, actually.
Go ahead.
ahead, James.
Yeah, this happens once in a while, and so we can jump in and save that deal for both the buyer agent, the listing agent, the buyer, the lender, by buying that house and renting it back to them till they can straighten out whatever. So I was also going to say, somebody commented in the chat, "Hi James, I'm in Colorado. All we see is Facebook user, so I have no idea who it is. Maybe we know each other, but anyway, hello."
Yeah, put your name on there.
Yep. Hello from Colorado.
So we know who you are, right? So we are testing out StreamYard, as you can see, right? We're trying to test out to see how this works. This is my first time. Clearly, I'm not a pro at streaming, right? This is not my area of expertise. We're not overly a little technical, but doing this, we don't do this every day, right? And so we're trying to test it out and see, okay, well, we have a bunch of people on here. How does this work? Where does it stream? How do we get all the technical aspects dialed in so that way in the future we can just jump in right away without having to kind of mess around with it. So, but the goal over time will be is to bring on not just these guys, but probably bring on additional people in the industry, right? So James, Giovanna, and I know multiple people in the industry, not just real estate agents, lenders, but I have underwriters. So my goal is to bring on underwriters, right? So I'm going to create a little segment called Stump the Underwriter, right? So all your LOs, all your real estate agents, you have your scenarios, or even borrowers, all your scenarios that, that for your particular situation, I happen to have this. What is the underwriter going to say, right? Because most people don't realize the underwriter is the one that puts the final approval on a loan, right? The LO takes the application and kind of does a preliminary review, but then that gets you submitted to the lender, and then the lender's underwriter has to approve it and say, you know what, everything, all the ducks are in a row. And most people don't even realize it. But anyways, having been in the industry almost 25 years, having been an underwriting manager, I know a ton of underwriters, so I'm going to bring some on. And we're going to play a little game. Say, okay, give me your hardest question for these underwriters so we can try to answer and provide a solution too, right? Because we've been on that end now being on this end, the goal will be, it's like, hey, if you have a scenario that's not working, that the underwriter or the lender is asking for this, that, how can we solve for that? Nothing illegal. How could you document it, or how can you present it to an underwriter? Because technically, the majority of underwriters are going to look at it from a risk reward standpoint, right? So how risky is this? Can you explain it? Like, is there a reasonable explanation why something is happening that looks out of the norm? So anyways, so my goal is to bring underwriter. I'm going to bring on a couple of other LOs. I'm going to bring on investors, right? So I'm going to bring on some flippers that we know, wholesalers that we know. Probably need a title and escrow person, probably a real estate attorney we're going to bring on, right? So it's going to look like almost like everybody remember, what is it called? Hollywood Squares? Look like Hollywood Squares. You're going to have a bunch of people right? So it's going to look like Hollywood Squares.
Yeah.
We're going to have some fun with it. That's my goal. That's the purpose for me, is to kind of get this information out to people. But it has to be fun for me. Otherwise, I'm not going to want to do it, right? So it has to be fun. We're going to learn. We're going to teach. We're going to have some laughs. And then hopefully get this information out to you and help more people, right? So that's ultimately the goal, right? How do we have an impact on our communities and seeing how we can help people, and just offering solutions to problems that most people don't even know how to or where to start, and be a resource for agents and lenders and aspiring homeowners too, and say, hey, I have this situation, how do we solve for it, right? So we have multiple methods to do that. But anyways, that is my goal. That's my vision with doing this. So any thoughts, you guys?
Well, I just wanted to say we're not fancy Nancy's here, right? We're trying out all these different techniques on how to be able to reach more people. But the meat and potatoes is actually going to be in the added value that we're going to bring to our community. And obviously to anyone who is wondering what is rent to own, or who is rent to own for. So I'm very excited to start talking about it, sharing it with my Spanish speaking community as well. So just spreading the word and educating the public that there are other options other than the traditional ways to achieve homeownership. Yep.
Awesome. And hi, Carol. I know Carol. Cool. Good to see you on here.
See the comments. Ooh.
So James, tell me, how do you see this? I know you and I have chatted about this. We started talking about it last year. It's like, okay, let's get it going. And I think, we're finally going to make it happen here, right? Because we kind of get caught up in doing all this other stuff. But then this is high priority for me for this year. And I know you and I are kind of on the same page with that.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Well, it's cool, this platform, we can stream to different channels, so we can spread the gospel more efficiently. So it's awesome. I like to see Carol on here.
It's pretty nifty, right? This streaming thing, right? I mean, we see, everybody's doing it, but people are doing it in different formats, right? Our niche is what it is, right? But you see it, people. I mean, young kids are. A ton of young kids are doing it, right? On different platforms. What is it? Stitch, right? Yeah, Stitch is one of them. And these kids are recording themselves playing video games. Like, I'm like, who watches that? But clearly there's an audience for them, right? It's their age. So it's the world that we're in now, right? So and that's part of that. I mean, me personally, right, having to adjust to the new. And I've always kind of kept up to date pretty much with the new stuff, but this is a new phase for me. We're constantly learning. We're constantly growing. I mean, I believe in that. We're always trying to improve, right? So we may have done stuff the old-fashioned way, but you're not growing if you're not learning something new. So this is new for me. So I'm going to have some fun with it. And then what we are bringing, though, will be new for a lot of people, right? Yeah. They're used to doing the old traditional stuff, right? They've been doing it for 20, 25 years. Well, the market has changed. If you're in real estate, if you're an agent or a lender, you know the market has changed and how many people have been impacted over the last 2 years, right? I was listening to a podcast this morning. Somebody was saying, I think almost like 60% of LOs have left the industry.
Wow.
Yep.
I knew.
And on the agent side, it's not that far away either, right? Nope. Significant amount of real estate agents have left the industry, going back to W-2 jobs, doing something else, right? Because of volume, because of interest rates, and then the volume demand has taken a huge hit. Mm-hmm. So for those that are going to have staying power, and I honestly think we're going to be maybe in the 10-year flat market, right? The threes are not coming back. 3% rates are not coming back. So what are you going to do? If you want to stay in this industry, you have to skill up, right? Level up, add additional skills, new tools to your tool belt to provide just more solutions for clients, right? And have you stand out from the other ones that are remaining that aren't willing to change, aren't willing to evolve, right? So if you're open to learning something new, then this is going to be the platform to learn, right? And we're here to help. And we want to bring that kind of value to you and say, because I truly believe in, clearly James is a friend of mine and he's an investor and an agent. And we've collaborated on a bunch of other things too, right? So really the value in collaboration, I truly believe in it, right? That's something that I've learned over time for this niche. You know, we talk about collaboration over competition, right? In the corporate world, it just doesn't work that way because your coworker is your competition to move up, right? I mean, that was just the nature of what I was used to, and working for the banks, right? It's competition. Now I had friends, obviously, that were coworkers, but generally it was viewed like, hey, they're your competition because if there's an opening to move up the ladder, they're your competition. See, and our view here is not the same like that, right? So I think there's value to that, and that's why we're open to sharing everything that we know, how we work together, and give you the additional tools that you may need to grow.
Yeah, I was going to add too. So, like, I teach a continuing education class for agents. Dom teaches a similar class in Arizona there, and we go over how agents can make money, lenders can make money, how we can help clients that can't be helped. You know, they're getting told no by the banks. We're going to dive into, you know, who those people are that we can help, what properties fit, all the things like that. So.
Yeah, I believe that there's a lot of misconception about rent to own.
Totally.
Right. And I think this is definitely going to be a lot of information, a lot of clarification. And also we understand that every client is its own unique world. So we have to cater to that specific need. And we have the ability to do that because we have so many years of experience doing this already. And we have so many partnerships. And also, I believe that 2024 is the year of partnership. So coming together and helping each other out, partnering with other loan officers and agents as well. Ultimately, what we want to do is bring more options and more opportunities and help more people in our community, right? And help each other, help ourselves. So I think that I'm very excited for 2024. I think that's basically what, especially from the calls that I've been in, I talk to agents and loan officers every day, all day long. And that's pretty much the feedback that I'm getting, that 2024 is going to be the year of partnership. So we're very excited to bring this finally to our followers and to our viewers and answer some questions.
Yeah. I was just going to say, you said there's a lot of misconceptions. That is so true. In fact, I'm changing the name of my class to something like Myths and Truths to rent to own, because there's people assume some bad stuff and good stuff, but it's the bad stuff that some of it's real. Like there's rent to own companies out there that don't necessarily have clients' best interest in mind. The way we do it, working with lenders, like we're setting people up for success from the beginning, and not every company does that. So like in my class, I teach about our programs and other programs, so agents and lenders feel comfortable bringing their clients to partner with us, because there's a lot of agents and lenders that don't really understand all this. So this is going to be really valuable.
Absolutely.
And for buyers, if anybody looking to buy that can't is watching this too.
Sure. And to no fault of their own, right? Because, they're used to doing the traditional way, what works traditionally.
Yep.
We are experts in working outside that traditional box, right? That's what makes us valuable. And that's why it's so important to share the information and clarify and educate the public so that they understand whether this program is a fit for them. And it might not be a fit right now, but it could be a fit maybe 6 months down the road, or in 12 months, or whenever they're ready. But I think that's the misconception is it's big. There are a lot of rent-to-own companies, like you mentioned, James, and they're not the same. They don't follow the same method that we have. And so I think once people start understanding how our program works and the benefits that it brings, it's going to be huge. It's going to be huge because a lot of people are getting frustrated that they can't get into the home that they want.
Yep.
So with our rent-to-own program, it's another option that they might not have considered. So absolutely, it's very exciting to be able to present this option to people that are actually a fit for our program, that could actually be homeowners right now and they don't know it.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, I appreciate you guys being on. I'm excited about 2024 and kind of taking this journey with you guys. Probably going to try to do it maybe every 2 weeks, or maybe even on a weekly basis, and kind of create some consistency to be able to kind of bring this value to agents and lenders, and then aspiring homeowners as well. So I appreciate you guys. Looking forward to it. Any last words?
No, I mean, I'm really excited to talk to as many people as we can. And then the next one will be more prepared. So I don't look like I just came back from a run, and it was a very impromptu video, but this is the best way to do it, right? Because this is really who we are. Like I said earlier, we're not fancy Nancy's here. The added value that we're bringing, the meat and potatoes, is the information that we want to share. Ultimately, that's the ultimate goal, to be able to help more people in our community, and obviously more agents and more loan officers and anybody that needs it.
Yep. Awesome.
Excellent. So everybody stay tuned. What we're going to start doing is, when we have the next one, we're going to post it. We're going to kind of try to schedule it, have it fixed, instead of being impromptu, right? So we just did this one impromptu because we're just testing out the systems, the video, the integrations and how it works, and just playing with this platform because it is new to me. And I think James has done a lot more with it, but it's new to me. So I want to kind of get it dialed in, so that way we can spend more time on talking about what needs to be shared, versus finagling with the with the buttons and the camera and all this other stuff. All right, so stay tuned. More to come. And thanks, guys, for joining me.
Yep. Thank you.
Until next time, everybody, this is Mr. Rent-to-Own Homes, live from my channel. Rent2ownhomes.com is our website. Come check it out. If you have any questions, if you want to get put on our list, or you have a scenario, you can message me. My IG is below Mr. Rent-to-Own Homes, and at Danino Capital Properties. And you can also text me, call me. My phone number is in my bio on my Facebook page, on my Instagram account, and also on the YouTube. All right, talk to you soon. Till next time, take care. Bye-bye.